are now listening to Radio Danzig, broadcasting from the heart of Europe. Friargate Station in Derby was opened in April 1878. In September 1964, it was closed for passenger services. This photograph, taken barely 10 years later, shows how quickly the site went back to nature. However, thanks to the magic of film photography, motion picture footage, and 21st century digital techniques, we can take one more ride on the train from Friargate Station. This special compendium video is being produced in March 2025, and at this time the entire site of the old station is being dug up and redeveloped, with the exception of the engine houses and the bonded warehouse. Everything is being flattened. This 1964 excursion train was set up to allow steam railway enthusiasts to ride the route one last time. And now I invite you to join them at Friargate Station and step aboard the train. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I should be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. God, I will pack and take a train and get me to England once again. For England's the one land I know where men with splendid hearts may go. My Uncle John was a fireman on the railways for some time. This man standing on the footplate of the locomotive might very well be him. I sometimes dream that I'm walking down this street. In those dreams I'm young, my grandparents are still alive, and I'm going to visit them at their home in Lloyd Street. At the time, Derby had trolleybuses, which were powered by overhead wires. I wonder who was on board the bus that day. When Derby joined the railway revolution, the city fathers were hasty and they made a bad deal. The railway lines tore routes through the heart of the city, demolishing homes, cutting through streets. Any journey through Derby inevitably gave passengers a bird's eye view of people's homes and back gardens. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe to help our channel grow. Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all for the meadows, the horses and cattle. All of the sights of the hill and the plain fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. Has this video called to mind any memories or stories about Derby and its railways that you'd like to share with us? If so, please add to the comments below. Do you recognise any of the buildings or places that the train passes? Some of my family members who watched the video Last Train from Friargate believe that they can potentially identify some of the individuals in the video as deceased relatives. They thought it very possible that the man and the boy on the platform were my grandfather and Uncle Steve, who later became a rather famous TV writer. But they identified the fireman or stoker who leans out of the locomotive and is much more clearly seen and in focus as my Uncle John, who worked in that role on the railways. I attempted to superimpose a photograph of Uncle John over the face of the fireman. What do you think? His facial features seem to line up, but I'm not an expert. Is this a valid test? The British Isles has many stories of haunted conveyances. There are phantom carriages, sometimes driven by headless coachmen, and occasionally drawn by horses who also have no heads. There are ghost ships which are said to appear off the coasts of Britain, sometimes to mark the anniversaries of terrible nautical catastrophes. And of course there are ghost trains. Some are associated with fatal accidents and have been seen reenacting crashes, explosions, and even plunges from collapsing bridges. The last goods train ran through Derby Friargate Station in 1968. Passenger trains had ceased using the line about 4 years earlier. So it may surprise you when I say that years after the passing trains and even the station itself had evaporated into mere memory, I saw a distinctly old-fashioned locomotive pulling several carriages over Friargate Bridge, puffing clouds of steam and sounding its shrill whistle. For a long time afterwards, I supposed that I had received a very rare or possibly even a unique experience. But I was wrong. It turns out that there are many documented instances of people seeing or hearing the phantom train going over the bridge at Friargate. The only possible difference between my sighting and most of the others is that I saw the train in broad daylight.